Go. 3, 2, 1, record. Welcome to Dodgers Dawgs. As part of the Dodgers Daily Network, Casey Porter here, joined by Coach Holt, as I am each and every Wednesday. Yeah, still got that L.A. strong.
Always, baby, always.
Always.
And Field of Dreams, Case. Your favorite.
Oh, nice. Field of Dreams in L.A. Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Now, is there a term limit on that, like 6, 7, 8 game losing streak, or is is 5 the cap?
Five maybe the cap, but you know what? Whatever the hell it is, I'm still going to wear this and probably this and still bleed Dodger blue. So, yeah, it's not a fun time this morning, but we know things will get better. So,
yeah, 100% they will. So, having said that, 5 games in a row, I talked a lot on the live show yesterday about, hey, yes, you can't get all up and wound about the ebbs and flows of a 162-game season. But I do think there are real reasons for concern in terms of the offense for the Dodgers. So just let you dive into that. Where are you at on all that?
I feel the same way, Case. We always talk about sample size. It's not fair. Say during the 5-game losing streak, we got some guys that are struggling. That wouldn't be fair to say, hey, there's a big problem here. It's just crap that everybody goes through on every level of baseball. They have ups and downs. That's the way the nature of the sport. So it wouldn't be fair for the 5-game losing streak to look out there like Pages is hitting under 200 during the 5 games. He's had a great year. That type of stuff. I don't think that's fair assumption, but I think the concern for me, and probably you and everybody else, is this is kind of the offense. Even though it's been, look, that's the best offense in baseball. Yeah, but it's kind of, our big three aren't really, doing a whole lot of stuff right now. We know what they're capable of doing, what they'll probably do, and they've done in the past. They'll do it again. That's not the point. The point is when you depend on those top three, Dodgers aren't somebody that's going to depend all the time on those three, but those are your dudes. It's what we call in high school. You got your dudes. Your dudes have to perform. It doesn't have to be all 3 of them every night, but you have a lot of things. So there's a lot of things that go into this, but the offense is concerning for me. I mean, it's concerning big time. Mookie, I know he had before the season, the illness and that sort of thing. This isn't newsflash or anything. The same thing he would do. I'm not ripping the guy. He's not having a Mookie Betts season. Freddie's power has gone down. Ohtani hasn't been great. You're an idiot, man. He's got 30-something home. I got you. But what is he, 4 for 20? During this losing streak. So that's what I'm saying. It's not fair to just put everything on those 3 cats up at the top. Those are your bell cows. But we got a lot of guys, that it's a team effort in not a good way, especially during this losing streak. Only score 8 runs? 5. I think we scored 8 runs during this 5-game losing streak. So I'm kind of with you on the offense. Hell, I don't know. I don't have stats in front of them. They may still be rated top in the damn league. I don't know. I really don't care. I just look at the Dodgers, and good, bad, or indifferent. I'm a fan first. I'm an old high school collegiate coach, but I'm a fan first. Sure. I just look at the Dodgers stuff. So that's just me going off the top of my head. I'm not, now my hair's not on fire. I don't have any hair anyway. If I did, it wouldn't be on fire. I'm not in that mode, but a lot of concern because the sample size is getting larger as far as some things we're seeing offensively that haven't really panned out, and that's a big concern to me.
Yeah, not necessarily the results of the wins and losses, just the trends and the overall process pieces of that. So let me ask you, well, before I get to that, we were having a big conversation in the Oklahoma City Comets press box last night about, one of the people that worked there is like, it seems like this team struggles here, there, and there, and yet you look up and Oklahoma City's like 20 games over 500, and you're like, wow. I mean, I didn't realize they were that good. And my comment to that was, and a couple of other people commented, was, well, that's because baseball is such a game of failure.
Yep.
It seems like when you only follow one team, your team is always failing, but then you realize it's just a game of failure, and everybody else is failing even more than you are. Yeah. And so you're right. It's like that one deal. It's like that. I'll get you here in a second. But Walter Payton ties his shoes when the bear comes up on their camp, and his guy with him goes, "Well, hell, you can't outrun the bear. Why are you tying your shoes?" He goes, "Well, I don't have to outrun the bear. All I got to do is outrun you, right? Exactly. You just have to have less failure than the next team, and so." You tend to be a little more negative as a fan because you only follow your own team, but you realize it's hard on everybody else too.
No, that's a great point. That's kind of what I was saying. I don't look at the other teams. I don't give a crap about the other teams, and I look up and I have concern with the Dodgers offense. Again, that sounds like a real dumbass statement, and it is in the big scheme of things. That is a dumbass statement. I'm just talking about consistent, because I look at every game every day. I'm like you and all the Dodger dogs, Dodger fans. What the coaches and I don't know. It looks to me like, just looking at Dave Roberts, just looking at his face, he's got a lot of concern too.
Yeah.
But he's concerned about the whole team. And so are we. But I totally agree with you. Baseball's a game of failure. It's unfair for me to think Ohtani should get a hit every time he comes up, but sometimes I do. I'm like, how damn, you're so dang good. Get her done. That type deal. And we know Mookie, Freddie, same thing. We probably have too high of expectations, but those are earned. But these are the world champions until somebody else wins the damn thing. It's not exactly the same team, but they're still a world champion until somebody else wins it if they don't. So expectations are what everybody wants. If you talk to Dave Roberts and the front office all the way to the owners, hell yeah, it's a World Series or bust. That's what we do. So I don't think we're all out of line. Thinking it's a 5-game losing streak. I'm not ready to go into major panic mode. It's the longest losing streak, I think, since 2019. But whatever it is, they still got a 5-game lead. It's like, well, it was 9. Yes, I get it. I know what it was, but a 5-game lead is a 5-game lead. I think we still got the best record in the National League. Something we don't need to forget about during this losing streak, and I went back and looked some stuff to get my mind right on this. Here's the other part about it. We could have been playing real damn good, which we were, and rolling to the Astros, who me and you said and everybody else had said before the first game with them, they may be the best team in baseball since May 30th.
Yes, right.
We said that before game one. And so I'm not talking about afterwards now. We said that before game one.
That includes the Dodgers.
That includes the best team in baseball since May 30th. Now, so you get there, they rough you up. They're freaking good, first of all.
Yeah.
We don't like them. I had no love for the Astros whatsoever, but I'm also a baseball purist. I love the game. Those freaking guys are good. Altuve, they're good. They're a hell of a baseball team. Then we roll into Milwaukee. I don't keep up with Milwaukee. Then I hear last night on the broadcast, hell, they've had the best record in the National League since May 22nd.
Yeah.
So they're hotter than hell.
And their pitching is good.
They throw this ungodly 23-year-old from Blue Springs, Missouri.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the guy.
Neither had Clayton Kershaw until last night.
Exactly. Nobody had. But like they said during the broadcast, all of a sudden everybody's on the top step watching this cat. Oh, my God.
Wow.
So my point is, everything could be going great and everybody, we still could have lost 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Because so let's don't lose that. We didn't lose 2 or 3 to the White Sox. You know what I'm saying? The Rockies.
Right.
So yeah, we're not in our moral victories, but let's also keep in perspective. We've lost 5 in a row to probably the 2 hottest teams in baseball right now.
Yeah.
If you want to look at maybe the 2 best teams in baseball right now, including the Dodgers. Just now, we know the season's long or whatever. I don't want the Dodgers to peak now. Maybe the Astros are peaking now. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't give a crap. All I know is they're real freaking good right now. Milwaukee's real freaking good right now, too. They got a great manager, former Arizona State manager, Pat Murphy. So they got a base. They got a lot of things going for them, but they run the damn arms out. How about those relievers coming in?
Jesus Christ.
You got this 23-year-old slicing and dicing, throwing 4 pitches for strike, 101.3, 96-mile-an-hour curveball, 96-mile-an-hour slider, 90-mile-an-hour curveball. Then these cats roll out of the bullpen, Rebate, all these guys all hitting 100. You're going, that's like you said, the old tip your cap, man. Hey, I don't give a damn how we rolled in there last night. That was going to be a hard game to lose. Let's look at the other side of it, though. Kershaw gave us a great start.
He did.
6 innings, only gave up 2 runs. 6 innings out of this guy. This guy, even though that's his first loss of the year, he has gone above and beyond the expectation. We said before, he's reinvented himself. He's a freaking pitcher, setting at 90, painting corners, landing pitches. It's
missing barrels.
Yeah, missing barrels. A lot of soft contact last night. The dude, I loved watching him pitch, but I was sitting there thinking when we gave up 1 run, I thought, hell, we may get beat. Of course, Ohtani, led off with the home run. Ended up being the only run we got, but the Kershaw pitched great. So let's if you want to try to keep the positive side up, Kershaw pitched great. rushing I think he had a base hit, threw out a runner at third from his knees. So there's still a lot of things to look at there. The bullpen wasn't horrible. Vesia had, Yates gave up. Like I said, that's a hell of a pitch. Kid hit the home run off.
Yeah, the splitter that Yates threw? Yeah.
Splitter, ankle high. Yeah. Hell, that's a hell of a pitch. You tip your cap to Frelick, too. Hey, great job, son. Shit. I mean, there's not much else you can do there. I mean,
another tip your cap situation. No
just
doubt.
tip it. I think we walked 2 guys on the entire night. So on the other side, our offense struck out 15 times. But again, you can run the 27 Yankees in there last night. They're probably going to strike out 15 times against those cats that were throwing last night.
Yeah, and I will say Kershaw gave Mizorowski a little bit of extra incentive. And the young man from Blue Springs, Missouri, as you mentioned, which is a suburb of Kansas City, he was just so pumped up last night. He showed his emotions. So how good was he? And, it's just like Clayton Kershaw said in the postgame. You can talk about us struggling all you want, but I'm telling you, I'm going to – I mean, he didn't say this wasn't exactly, but he is going to be a Hall of Famer. He knows what great pitching looks like.
Yeah.
And him watching that, he was like, you can't freaking hit that. So basically what Kershaw said is, you can say that we're struggling all you want. That's fine, but you can't hit what we saw today. I know, like you said, I don't think the Brewers threw any one pitch under 98 miles an hour last night. So here's another thing. So here's the deal with Jacob Mizorowski, okay? He touched 101.3. He sat 99.3. So this young man sat almost 100. That's fine. We say it all the time. I see it, yes. I see it in the minor leagues all the time. These guys throwing 100 miles an hour, and they walk 3 guys an inning, okay? So it doesn't matter. So the key last night, the velocity was a wow, okay? He threw strikes. His fastball was in the zone 69% of the time. And overall, between his 4-pitch mix, his curveball was in the zone 63%. Overall, right at 60% in zone rate for all 4 pitches combined. So when you put that type of stuff, the sitting right at 100 miles an hour, with the strike throwing ability that Jacob Mizorowski had last night, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how good Shohei Ohtani is. I don't care how much the Dodgers paid for this lineup. Give that young man credit. He just beat the Dodgers. You could play that game 10 times. It's probably going to happen just like that, about 7 or 8, if he pitches like that.
Well, I said run the 27 Yankees out there. They ain't going to hit that crap either.
No.
I'm just saying, I don't feel, I feel bad about when the Dodgers lose, but actually during these 5 games, it's like, I don't know that they played bad. Yeah, they gave up 18 runs one game. Hell, they had 20 hits. So give the other team credit on that stuff. I don't know if this is one of those deals. Well, they're walking a bunch of people, giving a bunch of errors. No, I mean they're playing good people. This kid, by the way, I had to look him up because I didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
he'd committed to Oklahoma State case out of high school. They ended up going to Crowder, Missouri. I'm like, well, that guy would have looked good at Old Brady. Anyway, didn't have
OSU has a ton of those guys.
Yeah, he's exactly where he needs to be, and he ain't going anywhere anytime soon, barring injury. So, that's a good-looking ball club, Milwaukee. Again, know nothing about him because I don't follow him. I know who Pat Murphy is, and everybody, Yelich, Christian, I mean, I know who some of their stars are, but good Lord, they got some scrappy guys. They got pitching. I don't know. It's one of those things, but that dude, I mean, it was unbelievable. I never, you walk out there, skinny. Hey, he looks like he's about 12 years old in the face, too. He looks like a 12-year-old right into space. And his body's tall and 6'7", 195, I think he is. Then when the ball comes out of his hand, you're like, oh, my God. That's a full-grown man right there. I looked back. He's had 4 starts, I think, in the big leagues. I think he lost one. I think he beat Skeens when he went against Skeens. I'd like to watch that damn game.
Oh,
he pitched against Skeens. I'd have paid a lot of money and ate a hot dog and several beers, watch that damn thing.
Well, he's 6'7", Coach. Yeah, I mean, he's getting down the mound, too. I mean,
I know, and he brings it. He's competitive as hell. You can tell by looking at him. He's pumping his fist after inning. Hell, I would be, too, if I had an arm like that kid. Yeah. I'd pump my fist all the damn time. So, again, last night's game, it is what he's sitting there watching it going, oh, my God, it's going to be a long night. Ohtani gets him early. He almost had the perfect inning. Hell, he's on the ninth pitch. 2 strike, those curveball to the dirt. Everybody's like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
He should have thrown his 100 down the middle again, and he'd had a 9-pitch inning. But anyway, that's how good he was. He almost had the perfect inning there, and hitters are outmatched. And how many times, Case, you just start out, the first 2 pitches are 100 right down the crapper, and nobody can touch it. As we talked about, You want 2 strikes out of the first 3 pitches.
Run inside zone until they stop it. Throw your fastball until they prove they can hit it. I mean, I know that's as little league and high school as it gets, but it plays at every level.
It's like running the fullback dive in football. You used to have a coach tell me all the time, run it till their nose bleeds. Well, hell, they ain't stop 3 yards in a cloud of dust is pretty damn good. You know, if they can't stop it, well, you only throw the football if I can run it right down your damn throat. So it's the same concept. And that dude, if it wasn't the Dodgers playing, that was really kind of fun to watch.
The baseball fan came out in you.
The baseball fan came out in him. I was like, oh, my God. I looked him up, Blue Springs.
I think in a weird way it did with the Dodgers players and Dave Roberts, too, because they were like, dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That cat and in their bullpen, just like whatever. Hopefully, hopefully they won't bring those guys. I don't know. Today's another day.
Yeah, it is.
The Dodgers are still the Dodgers.
Watch it.
Yeah, exactly. They're still just got to move on. I mean, there's nothing to bitch about right there. You got your pitching did well. You got a great start out of Kershaw for him. The reinvented Kershaw. You got a great start. Pitching did great. You got dominated on the mound, dude. But like I said, anybody's going to get that. The way that went last night. So you just like you said, wash your hands, take a shower, get a sandwich, get a good night's sleep, and
absolutely
get a big cup of coffee, have a couple of eggs, and get out the ballpark, get your BP in.
Yeah.
Get your drill work in, and hope for the best. This season's a long way from over.
Oh my goodness.
There's no panic mode here, but everybody goes through this. I think the Dodgers are one game different than they were last year, if I know what they said last night. So every team goes through it. Last year's team did. Every team in baseball will do it.
Right before the All-Star break, too.
Yeah, exactly the same time last year. Let's look at it this way. If the Astros played the entire year like they did against the Dodgers, they're going to win it all. They ain't going to lose a game. 100%. They ain't going to lose a game in the damn playoffs. They're going to sweep through the damn playoffs and never lose a game probably if they continue to play. They're not going to, even though they're still going to be a really good team and have a chance of being the World Series again because they're that good. But they're not. I can't imagine them play like that all year. If they do, the rest of us are playing for second. So so that's just kind of how that works. The Dodgers are still the best team in baseball. I don't, currently
second best record.
The best record. Currently, whatever the third or fourth in the power ratings. Whoever does that crap, I don't care. We know the Dodgers are still the best team in baseball. I don't care what when you wake up this morning, the way you look at it, but it is what it is. So today's another day. By God, it ain't too long. Case about 4 hours, we get to watch them again.
Yeah. Tyler Glass now making his return to the mound, too, so that's going to be exciting. I'll say this, though. This streak you're talking about that the Astros are on, the Milwaukee Brewers are on, the Dodgers have won a lot of games, no doubt about it. But it doesn't feel like they've hit that, you mentioned that peak. It doesn't feel like they've hit that stride to where it's like, oh, yeah, well, that's the version of the Dodgers that nobody else can beat, that the front office put together when they put together this roster. Doesn't seem like we've seen them in a lot of games. It doesn't seem like we've seen them hit that stride yet like the Astros have hit, which is I think is a good thing at this point.
No, it's a good thing. I'm glad they're not peaking. I'd start worrying like hell if they were peaking right now. If I'm an Astros fan, of course, I'm loving life right now, but I'm also kind of worried like, damn, take it easy a little bit, save some of that for later. But no, I feel the same way. I mean, the peak, the Dodgers are nowhere near. I mean, let's face it. The pitching staff is emaciated. I mean, what we envisioned, what we started with, what we paid for, what we even started with, it's emaciated as far as starters, really, blah, 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 because of injuries. Muncie's out. Muncie was having a great year. Had really come on and was probably, overall the Dodgers' best hitter at this point before he got hurt. I mean, not average, not none of that stuff, not power, but the way he was playing, and now you're going to lose him for an extended period of time. We really don't know how long. It's going to be extended, though. So you got to move on without him. Freddie's playing. He's got some bang. He always plays hurt. Mookie's coming off things, and everybody.
Dodgers need to give Freddie more time off, though. They just need to say no to that situation. Say, hey man, it is what it is. You need more time off, I think.
Yeah, All-Star break's going to be good for a guy like him to get some time off, chill off. Get with his beautiful family, go to the beach, go to Disneyland, whatever the hell he wants to do, and just kick back and relax on his porch and in the swimming pool, watch kids swim, whatever he needs to do to rest his body. Nobody questions Freddie Freeman as a player, as a person, as a competitor, as a tough guy. He don't look like, if you look at him right in the face, but he's still 6'4", 220 pounds, and he's tougher than hell. So don't forget about this. This is still a grinding team.
No doubt.
We can't forget that. Yeah, they lost 5
absolutely. Coach, they have 34 comeback wins on the year. You don't do that if you're not tough and grindy and and that kind of thing. Gritty.
Gritty's, doing what he did last year. We didn't know he had a damn broken rib, but he had a bad ankle. You don't know. It's kind of like I saw the Thunder just came up. Jalen Williams said he took 30 pain-killing shots in his wrist. He's having to have surgery on. Didn't miss a beat. Had a 40-point game to play. That's what I'm talking about: toughness, grinding, team first guys. The Dodgers are full of them, so I will never question that right there.
Nope.
We'll never question anything there. The front office, the ownership, blah blah blah. Never question anything. I'm just a fan who's upset they've lost 5 in a row, but upset doesn't mean anything. There's nothing changed in my mind. I expect them to be the best team in baseball at the end of the year and go. But like you said, they have not even close to peaking, so that's good. They've had a tough schedule. Coming off, you hit to the White Sox, blah blah blah. But we always knew.
Are we seeing a hangover from that tough patch of the schedule the Dodgers went through? We said we were worried about that hangover. Yep. Shall you play the Yankees? We thought it would happen maybe, not taking the name brand of the Rockies and White Sox seriously. Sure. They played well there, but are we finally seeing the effects of that grueling schedule the Dodgers went through?
I think so, and also because these two teams, the last two teams we're playing here are loaded. Are loaded for bear because they're playing better than the other teams we were talking about. Hell, they're playing better.
Absolutely. And you're seeing their pitching. You're actually seeing their pitching.
Oh, we're seeing dudes. We're seeing Valdez.
You had to see Framber Valdez. You're having to see Mizorowski. You're having to see all the. Whereas we missed some of the Giants pitching. So we didn't avoid any of it here either.
No, I agree with. I think there's some hangover, and you're running into two buzzsaws here. Let's keep things in perspective. All of us, even us fans. If you love baseball, you're baseball guys like me and you are baseball pure. I love baseball on all levels. I just happen to love the Dodgers more than everybody else. Yeah. But, if you're that guy, just keep it in perspective right now. There's no, and we're fixing to go to San Francisco, aren't we, after this?
Yes.
Is that we go next? So it doesn't get any easier. I don't know if we'll see their dude as Webb come. I don't know. We can look at that later. But, it doesn't matter. You're going to San Francisco. They got a good team. Hell, it doesn't get any – but that's Major League Baseball, That's what these guys go through.
Then you have the Brewers again.
Yeah. Get you
after the All-Star break.
Yes. That's what I mean. But you wouldn't have it any other way. Last year the Dodgers had all the tough schedule right at the end of the year. And it actually prepared them for what they were getting ready to go through, and it proved what they were made of. It's the same thing now. It's all, these are 30-something-year-old men. They're Hall of Famers. It's still a learning process. It's still a process, not also just learning, but it's a process. It's season. Every team's different. Every ball in baseball, it's even more so. Every day's different. Who the hell's on the mound? What's the weather? The wind blowing in, blowing out? Is the hot, cold, the sunrise? And there's so damn much stuff, that the players don't have control over. All they can do is get up and go, oh, shit, I feel terrible today. What I got to do to get ready to play today? Yeah. And I'm sure this time of year, there ain't one of those guys walking on the field doesn't have something nicked up.
Oh, my God, Coach.
Finger or something.
You can't feel your body after about the first month of a baseball season.
That's what I'm saying, dude. We're in 100 games in, aren't we? Yeah, we're over 100 games or close to it. So, it's a grind, and I like our chances because of what we said last year. They've proven to us. This team has proven to us from our manager and coaching staff, front office on down. They got the toughness. They got the grit to have what it takes. I'm not worried about any of that. I don't question any of that. They're not sitting back on their laurels.
No, absolutely
our
not.
pitching staff is. I think it showed last night the Dodgers have more pitching staff money on the IL than the Brewers have in their payroll. So that's just a perspective. It doesn't matter. The Dodgers got money. Hell, the Yankees got it too. A lot of the people do too. The Cubs got it. A lot of people have the money. That's not the point. The point is doing whatever you got to do to win. And hell, the Brewers, goddamn, they played good the last couple of days. Give them credit.
Momentum. You said this. We got our ass kicked. It was about 150 degrees. We got our ass kicked by Ada or somebody like that. They had Will Hunt and all those guys, all the Latta guys and the Bean guys, not being some Asher guys. They beat us like 21-2 or something.
We had a Morrison guy. We had a couple Morrison.
We had one for Ripley from Ripleyville. Don't forget old Welty. Yeah. But anyways, your comment when this stuck with me forever. Your comment was, "Hey guys, momentum is the next day's starting pitcher." That's literally what momentum is in baseball. It's not like football where you just line up and beat the crap out of somebody. It's literally your pitcher, your starting pitcher goes out the next day, gives you a good start. That's all momentum is in baseball. So super excited to see Tyler Glasnow make the return today. What are you expecting?
Oh, same thing. I think you mentioned it. You keep up closer with him on his rehab starts. I've seen some video and seen some numbers on him. So I think they're making the right move. His next start needs to be with LA.
They are. And even if it goes bad, this is the right move.
Yeah, he needs to be up here with us. I mean, that's the other part. The Dodgers, we're looking, Sheehan. I mean, you're getting him back. You're looking at Blake Snell possibly. I mean, after the All-Star break, we might see a lot of different stuff happening right here. So, the Dodgers, let's face it, they've stringed this thing. They've had to piece this pitching staff together, and we're still up 5 with the best record in the National League. So let's keep that perspective too. So I'm glad to see, we get Tyler back out there today. They interviewed him last night. It was almost during the perfect inning was Mr. Askew, whatever the hell his name was, but it was almost that perfect inning. They almost had 9 pitches and didn't have a chance to talk to Tyler. Then he walked somewhere. He gave up a hit, whatever the hell happened. So he got a little bit more. But, yeah, he seems excited about it, nervous, excited. He gives a chance to win. You don't know because, it's the Milwaukee Brewers. It's not the Round Rock Express. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's not the same. So, we'll see what happens. But as a Dodger fan, yeah, I'm so happy to see Tyler Glasnow walking out there today.
It's not the Sugar Land Space Cowboys or the Albuquerque Isotopes.
My wife's favorite, the El Paso Chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas.
Yeah. Melissa calls them the Chihuahuas. Yeah. She even bought her a T-shirt because she loves a little anyway.
Sacramento's River Cats, and I thought it was like some cool animal. They're like, no, they just kind of like took a fan deal and like this is what they came up with.
Yeah,
they came from like Canada or something.
Is the Macon Whoopie still a thing? Remember the Macon, Georgia had the Macon Whoopie? I don't know if that's like
the New Orleans was the baby cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hated that. That was crazy.
But anyway, it's not the El Paso Chihuahuas, or anything like that.
It used to be the Diablos. That was a cool name.
Yeah, Dodgers. Well, they had San Antonio years ago. They had their double in San Antonio. Yeah. The triple A at Albuquerque. So
and they used to be when they were the Dodgers. They were the Dukes. That was cool.
Yes.
And all their prospects would hit about 400. You'd never know how it'd be in the major leagues because of the altitude.
Yeah, because of Albuquerque. They'd always say, we'll see what happens, Joe. Yeah. Doesn't carry it late at night, whatever. Yeah. We had 4 guys hit 30 one year with Spronce and Dusty Becker and all those cats. So it didn't
Matter of fact, Jock Peterson was the last. He was the minor league player of the year in the last year the Dodgers were at Albuquerque in 2014.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that recent. Seemed to me like they'd been gone from there a lot longer, but.
No doubt.
Yeah, anyway.
Hey, if the trade deadline was tomorrow, we've talked about how perspective. That's great. I've talked about I still think there's a lot of concerns that need to be addressed. If the trade deadline was tomorrow, Coach Holt, is Andrew Friedman, what do the Dodgers need to do?
Well, if it's tomorrow, you got to look at pitching. That's just me talking. I mean,
third base.
Well, it's tomorrow. You got to look at pitching. Farther down, as you get closer to trade, I don't know the status. They got a better idea of Muncie's status than we do, and I think the moves you see them make are going to prove what we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not going to be public knowledge.
See, I think them playing Alex Freeland at third base every night now, which they've done since Muncie's been hurt, I think that's a telltale sign that they're not sure Max Muncie's going to be back.
That's what I'm saying.
They're hedging their bets.
What the moves they make is going to tell us what we're not going to know. Right. We don't need to know. It's none of my damn business how bad Muncie's knee is. God bless the young man and speedy recovery. We 100%. Love him, Max Muncie, and he's a Dodger, and whatever, it's none of my damn business. I don't try to speculate on that. But if you're just talking tomorrow, I'd say you got to look at a pitcher. But if you're talking as closer we get the trade deadline, we're going to get pitching back. That's why I'm saying if I'm making a move tomorrow, I need some damn pitching.
Yeah.
I do know I'm getting it back, though. So give me 2 weeks down the line, I'm probably looking for a third baseman if Max Muncie's prognosis isn't. And they'll know. They know.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be right up against the deadline, but I think they will know.
That's what I'm saying. They'll know. So when we see what they do, they're going to get a pitcher. They could always use another bat, and they damn sure could use a good third baseman. So, man, where's Nolan Arenado? Is he available? Anyway, that's one of my favorites. Why I say that all the time. But, they always love that guy. But anyway, that's not an option. But I don't care.
He's at the bank cashing in.
Yes,
on a contract that's more valuable than its production, in my opinion. But
you're right. You're right. Absolutely. So maybe that'd be one we get cheap later. No, I don't care. I'm not worried about. I'm worried about right now. And I think. But if we're doing it tomorrow, I need a cat. It'd be nice to have a pitcher. But like I said, Case, closer to the trade deadline, probably going to be looking for another third baseman or bat, because you need another third baseman. You know, we got guys that can play there, but they can't play. I don't know. They need to play there every day. I don't know.
Well, I say that because Kike's down now. Miguel Rojas cannot be your everyday third baseman.
That's what I'm saying.
I love Miguel. That just can't happen.
Yeah, and Edmund's still. Tommy's still battling the injury
all year. He's been battling. Tommy
Edmund's
been battling injury for 2 years now. You cannot rely on that. I love Tommy, but
he's
the injury pass. You can't rely on that.
That's exactly what you got right now. Rojas, all you really had to play third, if you look at it. So no, you're absolutely correct. So maybe. If you did it tomorrow, it may have to be a third baseman tomorrow, because you do know you're getting pitching back on the horizon. You know, after the All-Star break,
need a left fielder maybe.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. This has been a lot of fun. I mean, it's always a lot of fun, and we never know where we're going to quite end up on these shows. So
because I go off the road, go to Ada and Ponca City and shit, and they'll pass Socha Hood. So I'm not going to apologize about that.
Yeah, we might end up somewhere at a Dairy Queen in the middle of Kansas, too. You never know, right?
And you might have some ice cream down the front of your shirt. I'm sure that's going to happen.
Hey, I love you, Coach.
Love you too, Case. And, hey, Dodger dogs and Dodger fans, we're good, brother. Let's just hang in there. No matter, don't give a crap what happens today. We're big picture people. We know what we got from the ownership, front office on down, and guys we put on the field, all up down the organization. Life is good, man. Life is good.
It is. It is. As always, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and remind you that it's a great day to be a Dodger.